Hey, my name is Ramon. I present myself as Melon. I am a small streamer, but for the purpose of this video, I Dungeon Master in Forgotten Realms. It has been 27 years, I could say. 28 years, something like that. So yeah, I am a big fan. So let's start with the game itself. The game as a product. What you get for the $60 that you pay for it is more than enough. Especially now that we have been having so many of these games that give you, I don't know, these options of buying things in game so that sometimes you feel like you don't have the full game until you purchase everything else that needs to be purchased so that you feel now it's full. This game here just gives you all of it. And also, they made the corporate decision of advancing the launch of the game so it wouldn't compete to Starfield. That's smart. It seems that way. So they had 30 less days, 30-ish less days of correcting bugs. But still, the game was so polished that I only started to see bugs in Act 3, really. So I got to Act 3 probably around my 100th hour or 90th hour. So it means that I just had a 148-ish playthrough, 148 hours playthrough, so for the most part I never experienced a bug. And they are still correcting it. Even for recording this video, I had to load the game because I wanted to the beautiful city here. I had to download another patch. They are patching the game and they are making the game better all the time. So as for starters, they are giving a lot of respect for the player. You get the full game, you have no DLC, you have nothing hidden, there's no shady things that are happening, you just have the game. Then you have the lore and the voice acting. Many NPCs, I would say most, you can talk to them. They are going to give you a different line. They are going to give you their mundane problems or their mundane opinions about the world, about yourself sometimes. And they are going to have great voice acting and great motion capture. I don't know if that's a first. I'm not this much of a connoisseur in the video game scope. I don't play hundreds of games. But I'm pretty sure that's a first for me. That you have this level of interaction that creates this level of immersion. And I've been seeing in real life, the Instagram and Twitter, X now, of the people that did the voice acting. It's insane, man. They gave their sweat and tears for it. And you can feel it in the game. You can feel it in the game. 100%. You're playing the game, you feel like you're there talking to them with such emotion that you feel coming from them. I myself, I'm biased here, but I myself, I got emotional more than 40 times while playing all of this, and most of it on stream because I streamed the whole thing. I had to just, I don't know, fake it, like, oh, nothing's happening here. But it was hard not to be like that because it's such powerful tones and sentences and the way they would speak and even their movements, how they were acting in front of the camera, and the way that they spoke things and what they it's just incredible. It gives you such a sense of immersion. Very powerful. Then we have the mechanics. They made a great adaptation of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I think that it was so well implemented that it feels so fluid and natural. And then I don't play 5th edition, and many of my friends that are testing, are playing Baldur's Gate now, they don't play Dungeons & Dragons at all, or 5th edition for the matter, if they played it once. And it just feels so fluid, it's so well made. They had great choices, they made great choices about how the game was going to occur. And this, even if you don't like turn-based games, this ended up being a masterpiece. In these too, the mechanics are great, and I played in medium for the most part. And I put in tactician sometimes just to feel like how it was, but it's not that great for me because I was not focusing so much in combat. But you get the challenge, you get the accomplishments, you can die in combat, you can overcome combats without the full members, you have these chasms that you can throw or be thrown at the enemies, and you can interact with the scenario, you can like throw objects. Man, the list goes on. It's so complex and so well made. It's such an incredible feat that they had. Then you have the lore and all the construction. We are in great times. We are in 2023 after all. We are in great times of storytelling. I know a lot of people are complaining about the superheroes genre and of like, flat plots. But if you get out of this and if you really go deep, there are many great creators, many great authors. The narratives are getting insanely complex, and we don't have these flat tales anymore. You have a lot of shades of gray. There are many villains here, but they have motivations, they have spirit, they have a whole scope of depth into them. Of course, in the end of the day, they did some pretty villainous thing. They are very evil in one part or another, but they can be fathers. They can have some. There are some exceptions, of course, or some psychopaths here in this game that you encounter. But many of the villains are so well made that the construction of them is in such depth that it's really representing how we are about telling stories in 2023. And Larian Studios delivered this. It's so insane. And other aspect is sexuality, sex, and romance here. I read also about this, like the Larian Studios, by being European, I think they're in Belgium, right? They made it see that sex is a great thing and it's not a great thing at the same time. It's just part of their life. It's just part of the path of the characters, and it's very intrinsic and connected with love. And you don't see because real life there's this whole connection that has to happen, right? So that sex occurs. Unless you are really deep into the one night stand culture, you really are going to have great conversations. You're going to have a lot of connection with people, and some, even though, for example, here I made out with Shadowheart, and then I made out and had sex and a romance with Karlach, and then Shadowheart didn't want anymore. That is so adult, that is so fluid, the way that it was portrayed. And I know that there are many other options, but this was my option here, the option that I could get in the game, and it felt so realistic. And it didn't feel like this taboo thing. No, it's just one more thing, just like life. It's the path of a hero or a villain. It's just like it's seamless with the story, with the narrative. They just another feat, another great feat of theirs. It was this romance and the options, and how, for example, how fascinating it is to be such a great character that can't stop dancing, as you can see here, Karlach, and all of the other characters too. Such depth. And now we go to other things like the immersion of Toriel. How you feel like you are in Faerun, the Sword Coast. You don't need much for that. Of course, if you don't read anything, you just skip everything and you're just fighting, you're not going to feel that. You're going to feel a bit because of the imagery. But if you stop to read, I guarantee you, at least 40% or 30% of the signs and papers and books and even the voice lines of the NPCs, you are going to feel like you are in this fantastic world. There is a lot of immersion here, a lot of opportunity for immersion. I myself, I read 100%. I even chased this. My playthrough was me after lore, and it was just so in depth. Like I know a lot. I have a lot of contact. Have had a lot of contact with Toriel, and I know a lot of the lore already. But to see it in motion, to see it reacting to you, and to see it like this is such another great accomplishment of theirs, that you really feel very connected to every part of your path. Whatever path you choose, there are many things that can happen. And this is another point. They made an RPG feel like an RPG. You have choices here. You have agency. You can choose to be evil. You can choose to be good. And sometimes it's not about evil or good. It's sometimes just about choice. And you have choice. You have sometimes 4, 5, sometimes 6. And sometimes you cannot see the other choice unless you load the game and see, okay, what would I have said? What would he have said or she have said if I had said that? And this is another accomplishment of theirs, that they made all of it interconnected and working, that it goes until the third act. All of your choices, that they have a lot of implications and even ways that you can enter new areas or who you're going to interact with and how. Such a great game. So to conclude, buy the game, go play it. I'm not receiving any money from Larian Studios. It's just that it's a very genuine suggestion from me, a good advice. Buy the game, play it. If but I don't like turn-based. Oh, I don't like CRPG. Seriously, buy the game, test it. You are going to be surprised on how good this game is. Particularly for me, for now, not by far, but that's the best game that I have ever played. Not by far. There are many great titles there. Some far in the past, some close. But that's the best game that I've ever played. And I hope that the industry learned its lesson. It's shaking the industry, right? You can see now the news and all the polemic that is generating. Good. Because we deserve better. And the workers deserve better too. So the industry can thrive in a better way. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, the review. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers here in YouTube. And really, go have a great time playing Baldur's Gate 3. Because you are going to have it. See you.